go. And that's supposed to be it right there. I'm gonna have to find out how to get power to it. I do have to put the pins in the correct places, or the chips have to go in still. I have not put the chips in yet. The chips go in. Alright, it showed. Um, 4066 on top. And the other chip, this is the 4011. That little feller's gonna go in its little spot. And set them in. It's all done. Now I just have to find out how it gets power. Because there's no directions on how to power it. There's no instructions on how to power this thing. Step 7. Let me look here at what step 7 says. Step 7. Buzzer. And it says connect work voltage. And set play music. Let us see, where do we do the power? It doesn't even tell me how much power to use. It doesn't say how much or how little of power to use. It doesn't tell me really much of anything. How much power to use. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yeah, so there's no instructions on how much power to even use. So I've got to find, there's a little red wire. We'll see if we can maybe get it to work. By hooking it up to a AA battery. We'll see if that works. Because it says ground. So I'm going to guess that that's the ground, and then the other one is the positive. I lost my little black jumper cable there. Where'd it go? Is that it? No, that's not it. Isn't that shice, man? Just lost that little black cable that I was going to use to power that on. Make sure it didn't fall off. Oh boy. Isn't that just great? There it is. Found it. Yay. Alright. So, wonder if I can't take that off there. So I'm going to just put it on the wire here. I'm just going to loop it on there and then just freaking we'll touch it up to a battery. We'll see if it works. I mean, it kind of has me a little disappointed. No power pack. No directions on how much power to use. So that's kind of not cool. And everything's out of the pack. Was no thing. There was a marker on here that said onto the A. So I'm going to put it onto A. I'm going to, fingers crossed, that A is where I need it to be. You know? Alright, so there's that. Let me grab a battery. Grab us a AA battery. And we'll see what happens. Work. I wonder if it's going to make a different sound on a different thing. Put it on that one. See if it does different sounds on that. It works. Not the best, but you know what? It works. So that is a positive. And it does work. Try a few different things here. We'll see what differences there are. I mean, we already found that some switches do one thing, some do another. No. Such different sounds because I don't know what the heck it is here. Let me see if I can just wind this around all of them, and if that'll work, make it do all of them at once. Let's overpower it. Let's overdo it. Let's see what's gonna happen if we do this. Alright, and here's on all of them. Here it is on all of them. No, nothing. Alright, so there was the project multi-soundboard. Put a link to the Amazon project in the descriptions. But I mean, there's your areas for where your power would be coming in and out. You'd run your power cable in there, back out, but you know what? It works. That's what I'm happy about, is that I know it actually works. So 16-in-1 siren sound effect thing. Yeah, pretty fun little project. Hello, I am Gordy. Today I am going to be building a 16-in-1, soldering together a 16-in-1 sound effects board. So right here is the board. I've already got the 2 IC ports ready to go, the sockets for them. Those are already on the board. I'm going to be using some 1mm solder. There's a little extra soundboard for it. Some transistors, some switches, some different resistors, different capacitors, a few different little things, some diodes. So yeah, alrighty. Let my fella get up a little bit warmer still. Okay, so pop those out for right now. We are going to start with our resistors, our 5 resistors here. So we have these 5 beautiful resistors right here. I'll set all those off to the side over here. I believe that is my extra resistor I have from one of the other kits. with an extra resistor. So these right here are some 150 kilo ohm resistors, and they go in spots R3, R6, 4, and a whole bunch of them. R3, there we go. On a little bit so they stay. These are all going to go down here on the bottom of the board, and as it always is with resistors, there is not a positive, there is not a negative with them, so you put them in. It's called some metric, I'm not sure what it's called. Someone knows what it's called, you can leave it in the comments. I do like to make them all the same way though, just for aesthetics. Just for my viewing of it, makes me feel it's more professional looking. Alright, there's that one. So yeah, it's personal preference how you want to have them, if you want to have them any special way. So that's all just your preference. You can have them flip-flops, they all look different. You do it like I'm doing it, to where they're all facing just the same way. So it's just for aesthetic, it's nothing else. Just for the aesthetic of it, the aesthetic appeal. It's prettiness. Alright, so there we go. Those in. And next is going to be the 2. Alright, let's get the solder in here now, huh? I'll clean off my tip. Why is my soldering gun not on? There we go. Let's get a little bit hotter here so we can get all that old solder off. Tin it up a little bit. Alright, and away we go. So I'm going to use this little helping hand thing here. It'll just keep it held up in place for a few seconds for me while I do all this. I'm going to be getting a way better one. My buddy Eddie showed me one on Amazon to get, so that is what I'm going to be picking up. Getting that maybe a little bit better on the camera so you guys can see it as well as I solder them in place. Let's start. Well, there's our first one soldered into place. All good to go. And we'll snip these little legs. So for part of this, I have to keep 2 little pieces of metal out. There's 2 little jumpers I have to cut. That I have to do. 2 little jumpers that have to be made. So I'm looking for whatever long ones of these I get, because that's what we're going to be using. It's even what the directions say to use. Use a piece of one of these, that little jumper wire. So we're going to find the 2 that are the best, like these 2 right here, and the rest will just be garbage. And then I'll use those two as the little jumper wires here later. There's two little jumper wires that need to be done up, so we'll be doing those up here. Alright, so the next two are some 270s. 270 kilo ohm resistors. And they go in R1 and R5. So R1 and R5 is where these two little fellers go, is R1 and R5. R1. And then R5. Alright, there. R1 and R5. Just like that. So I haven't come up with a name for a YouTube channel or anything. I'm not really sure what to call it. So I'm not... Anyone can come up with a name, that'd be kind of cool. Right now, it is just another random YouTube channel. I plan on doing many different things. Alright, so this 62 goes to R4. Okay. So that's a good reason to have that little tester over there. Using my little parts tester. Here it is. Put the electronic component in there, close it down, hit the blue button, and it gives me an entire reading on what it is. Very cool little thing. I like it. It makes me excited. Yeah, excited. Alright. I'll have a video up from the hike I'm going on in just a few days, and that is the 600. The 600 goes into R2. So let me find a good way to put this 600 in. Yeah, gold and gold. There we go. So yeah, this is like a 1601 sound effects board. What it is you do have different switches on, and each switch will do something different. Switch in position 1, having both of them in M1. Do this. We'll do one sound. We'll do it all. We'll play with it once we get it set up. Once I get it all soldered into place here. So yeah, once I get back from my hike, because I'm going on a hike, when I get back from that hike, I'll be getting the other helping hands, and it has a light that comes with it too, a light and a magnifier. And a light would be a pretty nice thing to have, so I can see this a little bit better. Alright, these little extra pieces gone. Anyway, we don't need those. Alright, so there's all of that soldered up now. All of those pieces are soldered. Still, the two-piece DOD diodes. Right here. D1 and D2. So these are special as well. I don't think you can really see it. Well, yeah, it ain't gonna show up very well. But anyway, there's a darker spot on here, and on the board, it'll show a separate area down here at D1 and D2. See the little spot over there? That's where the black goes. where the black end of it goes. It goes in that specific little place. Once I get these set into place, I'll show you. Bring it out. So, I mean, it really doesn't matter. My focus isn't good on my phone. The only way to actually do these videos fairly good is to do them and then upload them. So, anyways, they're right there. Yeah. So once I get some better equipment going, I'll be able to do these a lot nicer. I don't have the equipment right now for it, as you can tell. Lost one of my little pieces there. Oh, these are nice. I like those ones better for the jumper legs. It's not really gonna matter. Alright. One of them went right past the camera. Scheisse. Alright, keep them there. So there's those. Alright. Let me see then. Install our sockets now. So your sockets have a specific way of being put in too. You can see there's a little divot right there. And then on the board also shows a little divot. You just line up the little divots. Now, as I did say before, you don't have to put these in if you don't want to. If you're not going to program the chips to do anything else, you don't have to put in the sockets. You could just put the chip directly in on the board. However, I think it looks prettier to have the sockets on the boards. Okay, so we're going to put our sockets on. Socket in place. Get the other socket in place. And solder them in. Shazam! Alright. It's just a quick little dab of solder. You don't need much on there. If you'll get enough, it'll form its little mountain peak. That's what I like. It's a little mountain peak on there. Little mountain peaks. Okay. Oh, forgot to solder that one in place. Completely skipped on the other one. Oops. Shit happens though. So yeah, I have the hike coming up here this coming up week from Sunday to Thursday. I have that hike. It's going to be pretty fun. Me, my wife, and our friend Michael will be going on that hike for a few days. So it'll be a pretty nice little thing, man. I can't wait. It's going to be cool. Alright, then, because just so you know, they did not include the directions kit. I have to go online to get those. Alright, another little fun thing is right here. It's another diode. This diode, in order to go in correctly, on the board there is instructions for it as well. There's an arrow. The gray part goes on the other side of the arrow. Okay, that's even per the instructions here that I'm looking at. So get that little fella soldered in. Speaking of snip snip, I had a vasectomy done. Just completely random. That's also on another video that I have on my personal YouTube page. Positive and negative there. Has some reason. Look, I'm not seeing anything for it, so I'm not worried about that right now. Here's that. So we got a transistor going in. Now it's this little board. So this thing, when it gets put on, I'm going to do it on the back first. Let's see where we can line it up, because it needs to be on the bottom just a little as well. Just a little bit on the bottom as well on the top. It needs to line up. A little bit of soldering that has to be done on this bottom as well, so that's what I'm trying to get lined up here. Do that. There has to be just a little bit down there, huh? Alright. Oh, here we go. We're gonna just a little bit into its place here. So the helping hands might help here. We're going to spin that hand around here. Bring it out. Bring it here at me. So this will go here, and then I'm just going to do a little tack solder here. And just a little spot solder there, you know. There we go. Alright, so we got that. Now that we can just solder them spots in. Alrighty. Alrighty, let me... There we go. Alright. So, now it's a lot better. Now I can get in there and get these spots actually soldered in place. Here we go. And get that to come down. Nope. Alright, gonna have to do it the other way again. Clap it back into this fella, and then we can get those to fill in. Oh, it's kind of tedious. It's just doing the same thing. Oh, no. Alright, so we can use our little solder removal tool. There it is. A little too much there. There we go. There we go. Just got the little bit out that needed to come out. There was a little bit too much on that one. That was getting in contact with the other side. We can't have that. Alright, so there's this side. There's that side all soldered up. So that's what I had to do on this side. I had to solder those parts in. Each of those little legs had to be soldered in place. Now I have to do the same thing on the front. So, of course, I have to do the same thing on the front. So now you have to see the back when I do the front. Alright, there we go, there's that part of it. I had to solder into those in too. Now we have to put them two little jumpers in. If you remember me talking about them, there's two little jumpers I have to put in here. I have to go down, come in here, and go down and out there. So let me... There we go. Now we got them little jumpers in place. Now we can solder those, and then that'll be done. Alright, gotta bend these up though. Bend these out though. There we go. And get our little dobs of solder on those on this side. That. Not the best soldering joints, but you know what, they're gonna work. That's a little different to do. A little different. Alright, so then we'll get this last one. These two right here done. And we'll have our little jumpers on. Directions tell us to do. So I don't know how to power this thing on. Oh, I gotta put the buzzer on, huh? The buzzer does have a positive on it. It's gonna be up there in the top. There's also a positive spot on this here for the buzzer. The buzzer's the circular spot. The positive goes in there as well. Positive to positive. Keep it balanced here. And that is where the better helping hands will come in play when I get those. Yes, and that one will have a light and a magnifying glass. You'll see things a little bit better. I got my buzzer installed now. Noise maker. And we're gonna get these extra parts. I'm guessing that that's the power system. I don't like it. I don't like a little thing like that as the power system. Freaking weird. And it's showing installation instructions. There's nothing special with that. It's a freaking jumper, and I don't know why they have it on. I'm wondering if this is where I give the power to it. So yeah, the hike. I was talking earlier about the hike. I will be posting a few videos from that on as well. It's going to be a pretty fun time. My wife has never hiked. My buddy Mike has never hiked. Both of them are getting ready to go on a 30-mile hike. That's not really too long. It's actually a pretty short hike when it comes to hiking. It's pretty short. It's not very long at all. Okay, so alright, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to bend these pins out right here a little bit, right? So, then when it goes in, they'll actually kind of lock into place. Well, just do one at a time. That's what we're going to do. We're just going to do one at a time here. Alrighty. There we go. So all those are soldered into place. And we'll go to the next one. Solder. That thing's still a little warm. That one's still a little warm. Oh man. I did a dinger on freaking soldering this a little bit incorrectly, but the instructions said to do it this way. It's so freaking odd. Even the instructions are weird on this. said, it would be a lot easier once I have my little helping hands. Once I have my better one of those, this will be a lot easier. Alright, so there's the second one. Put the third one in. Yeah, I don't know why the directions have it doing it so freaking weird. These directions are quite messed up. Next time I'll do it a lot different. Alright, there's that one. And the last switch. Right there. I was pretty excited last night that radio worked. The AM part's still a little iffy on getting it to work, but it works. It's just a little iffy on getting it to work. Alright, that shows this little fella right here gets solder on the back. Showing between this spot. No. Yeah, right here. There. Okay. So I will just lay that down there. Because it honestly should just sit just about perfect.